Dom tap 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 dom dee 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 tap dom tap 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 dom.
Hey guys, so I wanted to do something a little different today. I've seen the storytime videos come on YouTube and have been very interesting, and I feel like this week when deciding what video I wanted to do, God has been laying on my heart to kind of do like a throwback kind of my past kind of video, and I feel like it will really bless someone. And my message today really is just love people and don't judge them based on their current situation, because Jesus meets us where we are. Remember, like in the Bible, like when people asked him for healing, like he met them where they were in their sin and in their distress. He didn't wait for them to do a complete 360, and he works on us where we are. And I think that's such a beautiful and loving thing that he does in our lives. But I just wanted to throw back, because sometimes I get flashbacks, and certain people that used to have a similar lifestyle to me, we talk about it, and it's just funny how much things have changed. Just a bit laid back. I just want to lay back and talk to you guys, because I think that that's nice, and I want you guys to get to know me on a different level, to be more transparent with you and encourage you in that way. So I was about aged 15, I would say, in secondary school, as we call it in this country. In America, I think it would be high school. I'm not too sure about other countries. And I used to hang around with this girl group in my secondary school, and there was this one individual that kind of wasn't liked, and she kind of turned them against me. So one day I went to school and no one was talking to me, and I was like, okay. So I felt so alone, but I tried to like beg friend with the bad group that did all the naughty things. This girl that turned them against me, I didn't know at the time that it was her handiwork. One day she went missing from her home. She came to my house to use the phone to call someone, and then she mentioned that that night she was going to go out raving, like clubbing kind of thing. And I'm like, I want to come. I really want to come. I want to fit in, because at that age you're quite impressionable and you're quite like, you want to fit in, you want an identity. So basically what happened was that I just wanted to find a way to go. I really, really wanted to go. I really wanted to be cool. I really wanted to fit in. I really wanted a different experience. I wanted to be grown. So what I used to do is, my kitchen window, I used to climb out of my kitchen window and go to the club with this girl and this other older guy. And like we were doing it, and I was like, wow, because I used to watch like lots of like hip hop and R&B music videos, and it was all the club scene. And when you watch things, it's like you want to kind of experience them at that age. And that's why I would say, like, what you watch and what you listen to, if you're not careful and you don't know the reality of that situation, you kind of want to kind of copy it because it looks so good. Like the media will make it look so good, like it's the best time ever. So I used to go raving, and it used to be quite fun, and would get drinks and all these older guys around us, and it was so dodgy because they'll let us in and we were only like 15 and we clearly looked young, but then they would still like let us in. And my parents kind of found out, like they realized that, where is Rosemary? Like maybe they'll randomly check on me in the night and see that my bed was empty. And actually, I got beats a few times for that, but that didn't stop me. And that kind of taught me that if people want to do something, they'll do it. I just used to like hang around with these like older guys, and they were like these big men, just be chilling with them and talking. And like, there was a time where like these guys were fighting over me. But there was this one guy, right? He was kind of, I don't know, but he was looking after me. Like he did want to sleep with me, but I never wanted to sleep with him. I just wanted him as a friend. And he would take me out in his car, and we'll club hop, go to different clubs, and he would make sure that I got home okay, make sure that I actually got in the window. Yeah, and there was this one time where these two guys were like actually one arm, like they were actually pulling my arm and fighting over me. And then this guy that was looking after me, I got in his car, started crying, and he was like, I told you to stay away from those guys. And there was this other time where, oh my gosh, guys, my neighbor that at the time saw me. And you know what? I was so stupid because I was climbing out of the window, and I saw him just opposite my window that I was climbing out of, and he was in his car doing something like fixing it or whatever. Yeah. And for some reason I just continued. I was like, boy, like, you're not gonna say anything, let me just do. And then like he told my parents, and I got in trouble. I don't know if I got beats, or I don't even know what happened, but just hear this, like, years later, right, when I stopped that nonsense, I would see him because he was like a family friend. He used to hang out with my dad, and he wouldn't talk to me. Like, he just, I would say hi, and he would not talk to me. But his wife would say hi and that. But he, like, it's like he hated me. And like now it's almost maybe even 10 years later. If I said hi to him or if he sees me, he just looks at me funny, and I just think like, okay, like you've never made a mistake in your life, and you know, like, and even if I was doing something wrong, would you not want to encourage me to do something right? And now that you see I'm living right, would you not want to celebrate that? So sometimes like you just wonder, but you know, everyone thinks differently. But I mean, it's cool. But I used to be like, when people see me now and I tell them a bit about how I used to be and how I can be disciplined now, they get like surprised that I used to be naughty, and I just don't like that. I don't like the fact that people think I was always like this. Um, and how can you think that someone? I mean, there has to be a level of growth, right? But yeah, I mean, I was doing it up until the age of like 16, I would say. 16, 17 maybe, and then something clicked one day, like, because basically my mom was worried, obviously, like she was worried out of her mind. um you know, I was stressing her out, my parents stressing them out. And one day I just thought to myself, like, who am I sneaking out for, really? Like, who are these people? Who are these friends? Who are these men? What's, like, who cares about clubbing and that? Like, who, you know, like, I just thought to myself, like, why? Like, why? And then I kind of stopped doing it. Another thing as well is that, like, we would, like, go out on a school night, like, maybe a Thursday night or something, sneak out, go to these raves. And it was quite interesting actually being in those kind of environments. I felt like I was having the time of my life, wearing like the skimpiest clothes and looking for attention in all the wrong places and just doing things all the way wrong. But I think being in those kind of circumstances, dangerous circumstances where anything could have happened. I mean, God was with me even then, and it's just so amazing when I look back. I think like so much could have happened. Like the certain club I was going to, like there were like shootouts and stuff, and there were like a lot of gang activity, but I was never there at that time, and I was always like safe, if you get what I mean. Like there was always someone, even in the midst of my madness, there was always someone like looking out for me or something. And it's just, it's crazy. Sometimes I see the people that I used to rave with and I just look at them and think like, boy, things have changed, haven't they? But it's interesting when you've lived that life and you've done certain things, and then you can now work with people that perhaps have lived that life, or you know, on a higher level, in a worse level, done like committed crimes and been about that street life and that roadman life. And it's just interesting when you've been around people that were doing those things, you've spoken to them, you've made friendships with them. And what's quite dangerous as well is the whole like pedophilia. Like I feel like in the black community, like these older men preying on younger girls is quite taboo. And I feel like as well, because I work with sex offenders in a sense on a lower level, not a high risk level, but I have worked with them on a high risk level. I feel like in the black community, like sex offenses are quite taboo. But people say that like English people do it more, but I think it's just all round happening in every community, and I don't think one should be blamed more for the other. For yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys, like, I don't know. I often have conversations with my friends, and I think like, would I ever go to that kind of environment again as I am? And I think to myself, because I've had this conversation with a good friend the other day, and I was saying like, what would take me to a club right now? I don't even crave it. I don't even miss it. Like, and I remember as well in my 20s when I used to do like the grown clubbing, like where I was actually allowed to leave my house and go. And I just, when I was like about, let's say 21, 22, and I was getting closer to God, I remember the final few times I was going to the club, and I I just felt so uncomfortable. I was wearing a tight dress and I was like standing there and looking around me, and I didn't want to dance with anyone, but people thought I was too nice. They thought I was dush. They were thinking, why are you here? You don't want to dance with us? Like, what's her problem? Kind of thing. Like, but I just didn't want it. And even the girl I was hanging out with said, you look uncomfortable. I was looking around me and I was like, I really need to stop this. Like, this is not edifying me in any way. Um, some people believe you can still kind of club and be a Christian, but I mean, I don't really think so, especially if you're going to, I mean, you have to think about why you're there. what is it that you're doing there and how will it edify you? Something new has come out and it's called like praise parties, and it's like a kind of club setting in a sense, but it's like praise and worship. And there's arguments about that. I mean, we could sit here all day. If you feel like that would edify you and you want to like socialize with other Christians, then fine. But in a sense, it kind of like mirrors, and because some people have never been clubbing like me before. I used to be a hardcore raver. I would be dancing and get drunk and like proper. But like, it's not everyone that's even ever been raving before. So it's like some people have never been and they want that experience, but in a better, cleaner way. I don't know. I really don't know. But I would like to open the discussion out to you. I mean, if you've watched this far, thank you so much. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And if you would like to talk about more topics, I'll be happy to share. I think that it's quite good to just share with people, like, because my testimonies are crazy. Like, when people look at me, like, they're like, really, was that you? Yeah. And I've always had this thing of where I've had like an innocent kind of baby face, so people wouldn't expect me to say or do certain things, and I don't really like that, because even now, like, I look like this, but I still have a mouth on me. Like, I can still hold my own and talk for myself, and be assertive and let people know how I'm feeling. But you shouldn't not expect it just because of the way I look. But anyway, it's been lovely chilling with you guys. Have a beautiful Sunday. Praise Jesus. I'm so glad that he saved me. I'm still struggling with things here and there, but I'm just so glad that I am where I am. Matured a lot over the years, and I can only give all the thanks and praise to God. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a blessed day.
It feels like summertime, even when